Hello and welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Hadiza Galadima. Thanks for joining us. And now, the headlines. Shiite protesters storms Abuja. Suspected terrorists reportedly abduct 56 residents in Niger State community, demands 200 million naira ransom. Man arrested for allegedly defiling 9-month baby. Tribunal receives 15 petitions in AKWA IBOM. Peter Obi reacts as a 37-year-old HUMZA YOUSAF is set to become Scotland's minister. LASSA fever kills another 142 persons in 23 states. Welcome back from the break and thanks for being with us. Now the news in full. Shiite protesters stormed the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, asking President Muhammadu Buhari to lift the travel ban placed on the leader of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim al-Zakzaky. They are believed to be the disciples of the Shiite leader. The protesters demanded the release of the international passport of al-Zakzaky and his wife, Malama Zina, for a medical trip. A federal high court in Abuja earlier Thursday had nullified an application filed by Sheikh Ibrahim al-Zakzaky asking the Department of State Services to release his passport and that of his wife. Delivering the judgment, Justice Obiora Egwatu ruled that the Islamic cleric failed to prove that his passport was missing despite the 10 exhibits provided by his lawyers to ascertain that the DSS took the passport away after his return from India in 2018. The protesters were seen holding banners and placards that read, "Buhari must remove the travel ban on Sheikh al-Zakzaky." Suspected terrorists have reportedly abducted not fewer than 56 people during a fresh invasion on Adara town in the Paikoro local government area of Niger State, north-central Nigeria. The attack occurred in the middle of March, where residents of the community and its environs were grieving the death of Reverend Father Isaac Achi, who was brutally murdered by suspected assassins in the state in January. According to the residents of the community who shared the incident on their social media pages, the kidnappers have demanded a ransom of 200 million naira to release the abducted residents. In a Facebook post, Edward Simon Buju lamented how the attack has harmed the community's socio-economic situation, claiming the farmers in the area no longer go to their farms for the fear of being attacked. Edward added that one of the adopted victims was killed by the government because he refused to follow them to their new location. His post reads, "Adunu is an Adara town in Paikora local government of Niger State. A town full of love, peace and unity is now being invaded by herdsmen who massacre and kidnap victims in their numbers. The federal government and the government of Niger State should, as a matter of urgency, come to their aid to save them from these bandits who have been terrorizing the community day in, day out." An eyewitness stated that the bandits adopted as many as they could find. They went house by house, kidnapping, looting and destroying properties. He equally stated that while some fled when they got into the forest, over 56 identified individuals are still in captivity. These people are now internally ousted persons and aliens in their home country, living in perpetual fear with their homes and possessions destroyed by the bandits. Another eyewitness, who pleaded anonymity, said the people of Aduni and its environs have over the years been abandoned in terms of infrastructural development and provision of basic amenities, with one of the most dilapidated roads in Niger State and school buildings that are just best described as collapsed. They cannot go about their farming activities peacefully for the fear of being adopted or even killed by the men of the bandits. Meanwhile, when Sahara reporters contacted the state police representative, Wasiu Abiodun, for comments, he promised to respond once his investigation was completed. However, at the time of filing this report, the police spokesman has not responded to a message requesting his comments on the matter. And we will be going for a short break right now. We will be right back. Please stay. A 27-year-old man has been arrested by the men of the Lagos State Police Command from Railway Ijora-Abadia for allegedly defiling a 9-month-old baby. This was uncovered by the command's representative, SP Benjamin Hundeyi, in a report on Wednesday. Hundeyi said that the case was reported to the police on Monday at about 10 p.m. by a concerned member of the public. Hundeyi said that the case was reported to the police on Monday at about 10 p.m. by a concerned member of the public. He said the suspect allegedly went to the apartment where the baby's mother laid her on the floor and quickly went to buy something outside the compound. The suspect allegedly had sexual intercourse with the little baby and immediately ran away from the scene. The mother of the baby, aged 16, came to the station with the baby and was issued a medical form to enable her to take her child to the hospital for urgent medical attention. However, on Tuesday, at about 11:15 p.m., the suspect was smoked out from his hiding by investigators from the Ijora-Abadia division, he said. The spokesman said that the complainant and the suspect were both investigated, adding that the suspect confessed to the crime during interrogation. Hundeyi said that the scene of the crime was photographed when the police visited and a stained pant with blood was recovered as an exhibit. He added that the case file and the suspect will be transferred to the gender section of the state command. According to NAN, the National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal in Akwa Ibom State has received 15 petitions on the election of February 25th as of Wednesday. The petitions were filed by All Progressive Congress APC, the Young Progressive Party YPP, the New Nigerian People's Party NNPP, the Labour Party LP, and the Allied People's Movement APM. The Electoral Act 2022 permits 21 days from the date of declaration of election results for petitions to be filed and 21 days for respondents to file their response. The Tribunal Secretary, Ibrahim Usman, told journalists in Uyo on Wednesday that 11 petitions were on the House of Representatives election, while the remaining 4 were on the Senate elections. He said petitions on the senatorial elections were obtained from Akwa Ibom Northeast and Akwa Ibom South senatorial districts, while no petition was received from Akwa Ibom Northwest district. The secretary also said that the tribunal had granted 2 activities filed by YPP to inspect election materials. Similarly, an application by the APC in the respect of governorship election for the examination of election materials was received and granted by the tribunal, he added. The tribunal has yet to begin sitting. I will be going for a short break right now. We will be right back. Please stay. Welcome back from the break and thanks for being with us. The Labour Party presidential candidate in the February 25th election, Peter Obi, has stated that Nigeria has a lesson to learn following the emergence of 37-year-old HUMZA YOUSAF of the South Asian descendant as the Prime Minister designate of Scotland. YOUSAF, whose family traces their ancestry to Pakistan, will make history by becoming the first non-white head of the Scottish government following his election as leader of the Scottish National Party on Monday, March 27. YOUSAF's father was born in the Pakistani city of Mianchanun in the country's sprawling Punjab region, Dabont, India, while his mother was born in Nairobi, Kenya, also to a family of Punjabi descent. They both migrated to Scotland in the 1960s. A graduate of politics from the University of Glasgow, HUMZA joined the SNP while he was an undergraduate and advanced through the ranks of the party, becoming a member of the parliament in 2011, the first Muslim and the first non-white cabinet minister to serve in the Scottish government. Reacting to the development on Twitter, Obi stated that in an organized democracy like the one practiced in Scotland, character, competency, capacity, and compassion, rather than ethnicity and religion, form the basis on which credible leaders are voted into power, and this is a lesson for Nigeria. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) says in less than 3 months, the country has registered 784 documented cases of Lassa fever, with 142 demises across 23 states. The NCDC, via its official website, said the infections were registered from January 1st, 2023 till date. The News Agency of Nigeria reports that the Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic fever caused by the Lassa virus. The NCDC said in epidemiological week 11, the number of new cases documented dropped from 70 in week 10 of 2023 to 38 cases. It said the cases were reported from Edo, Ondo, Ebonyi, Bauchi, Taraba, Benue, Rivers, Plateau, and Nasarawa states. It is said cumulatively from the epidemiological week 1 to week 11, 142 deaths has been reported with a case fatality rate of 18.1%, was lower than the 18.7% case fatality rate for the same period in 2022. The House of Assembly member representing Aba South constituency and deputy governorship candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance (ABGA) in Abia State, Honorable Obinna Ichita, has abandoned the party. Ichita, a devoted member of the party, tendered his resignation to his Eyimba Ward 3 chairman in a letter cited by the Whisperers on Sunday morning, saying it's with immediate effect. According to NAN, the Supreme Court has dismissed a suit challenging the candidacy of Senator Elijah Abo of the All Progressive Congress (APC), representing the Adamawa North Senatorial District in the last National Assembly election. Justice Iyango Koro, in an ununanimous judgment of a 5-member panel of justice on Wednesday, dismissed the suit of lacking merit. Abdullahi Suleiman had dragged the senator to court, challenging his emergence at the primary election executed by the APC for Adamawa North Senatorial District. However, the Apex Court held that Mr. Suleiman was not competent to challenge the outcome of the election and had not participated in the said election. The appellant, therefore, through his counsel, withdrew the appeal and was subsequently dismissed by the Apex Court. Mr. Abo of the APC won the March 25th senatorial election after achieving 71,927 votes, while the PDP candidate Johanna Amos scored 61,895 votes to come second, therefore returning to the red chambers. Mr. Abo had traveled a rough path to his victory. He was in court before the election, battling to overturn his expulsion from the APC by his Mobi North Party executives after he fought a verbal war against APC's Muslim ticket. A Yola High Court governed over by Justice Mohammed Danladi has sacked Mr. Abo as the APC senatorial candidate for Adamawa North Senatorial Zone for the March 25th election. The court sacked him because he was expelled from his party by his ward in Mobi. However, the appellate court nullified the judgment of the State High Court, which supported the expulsion from the ruling party, as earlier announced by the party's leadership. The court said the trial court had no jurisdiction to entertain the matter, declaring that Mr. Abo is a card-carrying member of the APC and is entitled to seek re-election into the Senate through his party's ticket. Judges at the Supreme Court in London have started hearing a lawsuit that will determine whether nearly 30,000 Nigerians can pursue compensation from the oil giant Shell for damage to land caused by a 2011 oil spill. The communities from coastal areas in Bayelsa and Delta State said that their land was badly damaged by the spill. An early verdict by London's Court of Appeal said that the case had been brought too long after the leak had happened. Under English law, a complainant can sue for damages to properties not longer than 6 years after an alleged incident. The spill was about 120 kilometers off the coast of Nigeria and lasted several hours before the pipeline was closed and the oil stopped. At least 40,000 barrels leaked into the sea, making it one of the most biggest spills ever in Nigeria. The Nigerian community argued that the oil devastated their shorelines and has continued to cause widespread damage to their land and water supply, and so they should be entitled to pursue compensation. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party and leader of the obedience movement in Nigeria and diaspora, Mr. Peter Obi, has said attempts to ascribe religious, ethnic and other insolent interests to the motion will fail. Obi, in a sequence of tweets on his verified Twitter handle on Wednesday, said that there is no looking back on the movement's goal of taking back Nigeria because the time is now. In the life of every nation, there is a turning point. For Nigeria, the time is now. A time to save Nigeria, save our democracy, and give Nigerian youths hope. The obedience movement has been the narrowhead in the Take Back Nigeria mission. The former Anambra State governor further clarified that his role in the movement is to provide leadership. He tweeted his role in the movement is that of a focal point, as he always stressed, Nigeria remains a secular state. As such, the movement is not about his tribe or religion and is not an evil agenda or in any way to Christianize Nigeria. He added that his aspiration is for a new Nigeria where the children of a nobody will become somebody, a nation anchored on national interest and not sectional interest, where the entire youth from the 6 geopolitical zones will have a sense of belonging in the affairs of their country. According to him, his ambition is to provide leadership for Nigeria born out of desire to build a united and indivisible country. Obi made reference that he has always maintained that Nigeria must rise above ethnicity, religion, and sectarian politics in the matter of governance, and that the leadership selection process must strictly be based on character, competence, capacity, and compassion. Only then shall our democracy flourish and our society progress. Contextually, the Scottish reality is instructive and presents us with some lessons learned and missed opportunities. That's the story on Oweleketv News. Do follow our social media handles displayed on your screen for inquiries and advert placements. I am Hadiza Galadima. See you next time.